In this video, you will hear NIO CEO talk about how NIO's AI is actually ahead of others, which is absolutely shocking. And of course, this isn't something that most people actually know about. And right now, well, yeah. Well, NIO CEO will explain it much better. So I have the full clip at the end of this video to explain to you guys. So please make sure to watch the end of the video. But the gist of it is NIO has their own full stack algorithm. Everything is self-developed, and then their AI is generative AI, but also it's specifically used for world generation. So to predict what the world will look like. And also what he revealed here is that, which is also very shocking, is the fact that there's simultaneous world simulation that's going on. So basically what NIO's doing is you see a lot of other companies like Tesla, they have millions of cars out there and they're able to collect the data from those. Well, NIO doesn't have millions of cars, so they have hundreds of thousands of cars, so they can collect data from that. But on top of that, what they're doing is they're using the AI system to generate world based on what's actually like happening on the road conditions here in China, and then using that information to sort of have a virtual world, a copycat world of the real world, and then using that to test their autonomous driving software and also to test the AI software to sort of ensure that the generative AI is accurate in the sense that what they're generating is very close to what actually happens in real world, which is absolutely crazy. They're predicting the future. They're future lookers, all right, basically, which is absolutely insane. So you'll hear about that, but this is something that is very underappreciated. And NIO's AI, well, it's fantastic. It's going to be worth trillions, and trillions would imply a stock price of 600 plus dollars per share. Of course, NIO has their own chips that can support this. A lot of other chips, they actually don't have that capability. They don't have that computing power. And NIO's own self-developed chip, 5 nanometer chip, it's the first one to be on the car before anybody else, even before NVIDIA, which is absolutely insane. So like in terms of the hardware, NIO is also ahead, and the AI, they're working frantically to really make this a huge game changer. So they're improving their AI by quite a lot. So they do have the AI sort of business, so to speak, their own AI thing, but it's not like to consumer, right? They're not really directly selling this to consumer. I imagine in the future when they have different iterations of NWM, they could possibly like lease this out to competitors and be a good Huawei alternative here in China, because a lot of people are using Huawei's autonomous driving. Now, NWM does kind of is a little bit glitchy right now, but of course there's going to be newer generations to come, newer iterations with lots of improvements, and that will greatly improve the accuracy of the predictions and everything that's going on. But they do have this AI thing going on, which I think a lot of people are sort of forgetting or don't really realize. And if they can come out with a consumer product that can actually sell this, that would also be pretty amazing, right? Be able to sell their AI powers and maybe like a AI chatbot. They do have the AI Know Me, right? And that's like their AI chatbot, I suppose, but it's only available in the cars. So if they can come out with an app that's sort of like ChatGPT, they could earn a lot of money from that as well. But then in terms of generative AI, they're making big leaps forward. And why don't we go and listen to what NIO CEO has to say about this, because he explains everything a lot better than I do. So watch that video. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.
Technically, the industry is converging. Vision is now the foundation for perception, which is widely agreed upon. LiDAR and radar enhance safety in specific scenarios, also a consensus. Bigger computing power in cars is better, that's clear. We launched automotive grade 5 nanometers chips. We've been global leaders in smart driving chips, first to mass produce Mobileye Q4 in cars, first to mass produce NVIDIA's Orion X chip. We bought millions of Orion X chips last year. This year, first 5 nanometers auto chip, first on car, first tape out, first mass production. Bigger car side computing power is better, that's agreed. Regarding models, everyone's gradually converging now. We're doing end-to-end. Everyone's doing it this way. Over the past year, we've made a huge tech shift, a switch in model approach. At the forefront now, different attempts like BIA, we proposed World Model last year. World Model has many advantages. We released our first World Model version this year. Based on current results and potential, we see its upper limit is much higher than current models, much higher. Higher model limits mean more initial problems to solve. So from this perspective, I think everyone is basically converging on this idea now. I've seen some new companies recently proposing to follow the world model approach. Of course, there's also reinforcement learning to improve evolution speed. I think the industry will soon reach a consensus on this. There are also some things we're trying. I call it the data function closed loop, data looping, or DLB for short, which is about how to manage the cars. We have hundreds of thousands of cars running out there. In the cars we released a few years ago, we specially reserved a chip for swarm intelligence. In fact, regarding this aspect, we're actually ahead of others in this area. What's its significance? We now see its huge importance in safety. Currently, because in a simulated environment, when you simulate safety-related verification on real roads, your data is definitely not enough. But with hundreds of thousands or millions of cars, if I verify a new model's safety improvements, we use swarm intelligence to verify safety. Think about it. Imagine 1 million cars. If each car runs 100 kilometers, that's 100 million kilometers a day. So its verification efficiency is extremely high if we use Apple, Qualcomm, Android as examples. Globally, there are probably maybe more in China, about 5 or 6 car companies worldwide besides Tesla, I think mainly in China, that can build a full stack capability, meaning forming a system like Apple's, this closed, self-circulating, self-verifying, self-iterating system. But we're definitely choosing this path now, the full stack path. We've actually spent many years. Why did we spend so much on R&D? It was to lay this foundation. We believe this foundation is deep enough. We also see companies like Ideal and similar companies, they'll definitely take this path too.